That is delicacy right there.
And my new best mate Brian taught me to make a spear.
It's great enough.
Now it's time to put it to the test.
So, technique
Like that.
from, you want to get as far away from the fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that way. Yeah, but you gotta get them. You gotta hold your spear with it where it's balanced.
Oh, yeah?
That's where you throw it from. So that it goes straight.
Yeah. It's probably not something that you learn overnight.
No, it's
Is that a fish or a rock?
out there.
Yeah.
Thing weed.
Weed. Nothing is yet, but this is just awesome. Again, it's, you know, it's that whole anticipation. We saw one, but it flicked off pretty quickly. But I could do this all day.
Sadly, we didn't have all day, so after relocating and still having no luck, we called it quits.
Well, it was pretty awesome morning.
Yeah.
Quite good for my diet, I'd have to say.
Back in Broome, the heavens blessed us with some rain, so I took refuge at the 5-star resort Pink Tartar for my final cook-up.
So WA, what an amazing place. But, you know, it's the tropics, so we've got a little bit of a rain issue here, but it's not going to put me off my cook-up. And I was thinking, well, you know, what can I do to sort of, I guess, represent my little trip or my journey? I'm just going to make these very, very simple flour tortillas. I'm going to use a little bit of the wonderful relish that I picked up at the market. I'm going to use some of Vincent's and Joseph's mud crab. And I picked up a little bit of reef fish as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll out some tortillas. I've made a little bit of tortilla dough, which is really just flour and a little bit of milk, a little bit of oil. No rolling pin, forgot that, but no biggie. Beer bottle will work just as well. So they're done. And so the next thing I'm going to do, look at this crab meat. So amazing that something as sweet and tasty as this comes from that environment. So I'm going to just take a little bit of crab. I'm going to add a little bit of shallot, but nice and fine. We don't want to overpower the crab. Got to have chili. Chili's everywhere up here. Same sort of dice as the shallot, nice and fine. Now, what else are we going to put in there? Some chives, some coriander. Again, herb of choice in the tropics. I think I want a little bit of acid in there, lime zest, and a little bit of juice. And then we're going to add some mayonnaise. And this is really just going to be like a little sauce on top of the tortilla, because we're going to cook some fish. So this is going to be a hot and cold dish, really. Wasn't that Lizzie just a delight in her little cafe? And she makes these lovely rubs. So this is the Asian rub. It's got a little bit of lemongrass in it, a bit of spice. So I'm just going to put that in there, and right at the end we're just going to put our fish in there and then cook it. Right, tortillas. And we don't need any oil in the pan for these tortilla wraps. There's actually oil in the actual dough. So for our fish, so just a little dusting. You can see that our tortillas are starting to bubble up a little bit. That's a good sign. Got a little bit of colour on there. So that's what we're looking for. A little bit of colour. We'll get a bit more on the next as the pan heats up. Hello. How are you? What time's your reservation? Okay. They're going to be good. They really don't need a lot of cooking. They're really cooking sort of on one side. A little bit of colour there. Look at that. Beautiful. Retain the heat in there. A little bit of canola oil or sort of, you know, grapeseed. Any oil that doesn't really have a lot of flavour. This is not a place for olive oil. Whew. These are not going to take long. In fact, they're only going to take probably about 30 seconds on either side. I'm just going to turn those. It's nice, thin, reef fish, not going to take long to cook. Turn off the gas, and let's assemble these delicious tortillas. So, tortilla, a little bit of relish, fish, and then a little bit of iceberg. Then I'm going to give it a little squeeze of lime while I'm here. Oh, stop it. Look at this. Mud crab. And the last thing I want to do is just put a couple of stems of coriander. Then it's just your wrap situation, and booyah. That's a taste of WA right there. How much did I love WA? Let me count the ways. I love places that are a little bit hard to get to, and it just is paid back in spades in this place. The beaches, the sunsets, the sense of adventure. There's also a side of luxury, there's pearls, there's interesting food, there's great markets, and it's just such a unique part of Australia. So this is actually the last episode of Dishing Up Australia, and on reflection, it's just been a really, really special trip. Australia is a place where there's so many surprises around every corner. Scenically, it's just stunning. It's rugged, it's vibrant. The colours are absolutely extraordinary. The food, unreal. To meet the chefs, to go to the restaurants, to eat in the markets, and to try food actually at the source, oh, that one fell off, has been an absolute revelation. But above all the natural beauty and the food and the produce, the one thing that's really stuck with me is the people. Australians are just warm, they're generous.
Jesus, mate, you're not bad.
It's a real melting pot of different cultures, and everyone seems to be going out of their way to make your time here really great. You know, Dishing Up Australia, all I can say is just come and get a helping or two. 35 chilies. Oh, bloody good, aren't it?
Who am I talking to anyway? You got the camera following you, right?
Is it?
Yes.
What are they doing here?
Yeah, well, come on. Who are you?
What's that? I'm no one.
August 22nd, 2015. A Cessna 180 carrying 2 hunters departs from an unknown location, bound for Alaska's Kenai Peninsula. At approximately 8:20 p.m., it flies low over the coastline when the plane makes a sudden climb. Seconds later,
I heard this giant klwomp, and I know what that sound is.
a crash devastated by fire.
And there was a lot of explosions, a lot of gun ammo or something in there.
A grieving community.
Man, that's too bad.
What caused a plane to go down on a routine flight in good weather, just miles from its home airstrip?
Big question is what happened.
Alaska is twice the size of Texas, yet less than 20% is accessible by road.
Air travel here in Alaska, it's more of a necessity. It's a way of life.
In the summer, there's an average of 1 air accident every other day.
The NTSB is an independent federal agency charged with investigating transportation accidents. We're the detectives of the aviation world. We determine probable cause and then go one step further and make recommendations to keep that accident from happening again.
Anchorage, Alaska, August 22nd, 2015. The NTSB receives a call from Alaska State Troopers about an accident near the small town of Kasilov.
We got the call shortly after 8:30. It's 9:30 right now. A Cessna 180 hit a tree line along a bluff, and a post-crash fire ensued. 2 people on board, 2 fatalities. And that's about all we know at this point.
على مستوى نتيجة المباراة تعادل أكيد بعد نابولي والدور مطالب بالفوز. نابولي لم يتعادل خارج ميدانه والدور لم يعرف التعادل على ميدانه. ليانكو ينقل الكرة في اليسار لسيموني فيردي. سيموني فيردي تقدر الكرة. سيموني فيردي محاولة خطيرة. الكرة مرت من دون لمسة. متابعة من أنسالدي. أنسالدي الدور خطير ورأسية عن بيمينيت. الدور يبدأ الهجوم. كرة من أنسالدي ارتقى عليها الجنرال ولكن توقفت عن بليكس. تورينو في الشوط الثاني واضح تماما فريق يلعب الهجوم يبعد برسالة لنابولي، ولكن نابولي ممكن يرد بسرعة. لوسانو يسدد المكسيكي. لوسانو يكسب ركنية، محاولة وفرصة سريعة، رد بسرعة فريق نابولي ولكن ركنية. التصدي في آخر لحظة، تبقى النتيجة من دون أهداف. آخر تعادل سلبي في تورينو بتاريخ 5 نوفمبر 95 على ملعب الديلي ألبي. انتهى اللقاء بصفرين. في ذلك الموسم التورو نزل للدرجة الثانية. هذا هو مانولاس المدافع اليوناني، مدافع مهم خاصة بالكرة الثابتة بركنيات. تسديدة من فابيان بعيدة، كرة الإسباني، كرة الإسباني للتمس، حاول يسددها باتجاه المرمى، الكرة انحرفت بعيدا إلى غاية تحولت للتمس. امام راسية اللاعب رينكون، ارتقى لها الفنزويلي ماتساري، تمناه في المرمى. فالتير في حوار مستمر مع كارلو انشيلوتي. ماتساري من 2009 لغاية 2013 الكوبا ايطاليا، موسم 2011 2012 مع فريق نابولي لما فاز في الفاينل على حساب اليوفي 2-0. ايام همشيك، ايام الماتادور إدينسون كافاني، ايام الكوتشو لابيتسي. كرة تلعب من جانب اللاعب فابيان، ترجع كرة لفريق التورو. سيموني فيردي ينطلق بالكرة. سيموني فيردي مازال محافظ عليها. فيردي بينية، فرصة خطيرة. بيلوتي بالتسلل، بيلوتي متسلل، بيلوتي فرحة بيلوتي بالهدف. لا بيلوتي، أنا في كابينة تعليق وعرفت التسلل وانت في الملعب، وصلت اللعبة وسجلت الكرة وانتقلت ناحية الجمهور كأنك متأكد من هدف. تسلل موجود يا قال له، تسلل واضح يا بيلوتي أول مرة لعب أساسي بالسيريا أمام نابولي، ولأول مرة يسجل أمام نابولي بقميص باليرمو في لقاء 3-3. هل يسور مرماه في لقاء اليوم؟ سجل اليوم، ولكن هدف أكيد هدف في التسلل واضح على أندريا بيلوتي. كرة عند المكسيكانو لوسانو، يضغط الآن فريق التورو بشكل ممتاز من الأطراف. كرة عند لوسانو، ترجع عند ألان يمرر لفابيان، يلقى الكرة عند لوسانو معنا تشارلز ورمي التماس.